Hey squad, this is Tom Sarge, prepping with Sarge, here for LT Wright Knives, and I am here to share another foraging video for you for an edible and medicinal plant that I think you should be aware of. I've really been enjoying making these edible medicinal plant videos for you. I hope it's improving your foraging. Let me know down in the comments down below where you are and what part of the world you're watching this from and what you're currently foraging in your area. This is definitely a skill that all survivalists and bushcrafters should be working on. So today I've got behind me a tree that I think you're going to be interested in. This is Japanese Camellia. Let's take a look. All right, so as you're getting into foraging, one helpful thing would be to be aware of whatever knife you typically carry with you, whatever your EDC is for your hiking and foraging, to know what the general length of it is, because that will help you if you know what the length of certain things are supposed to be as you're foraging. So as an example, my LT Wright Genesis here is approximately 10 inches. So by using this, I can judge that that flower spread is about 2.5 inches, and that one there is probably about 4.5 inches, which is going to help me with identifying this one. This is Japanese Camellia. It's an edible and medicinal plant that is not native to the US, but it has been cultivated to grow here, and because it is winter hardy, can really be found all over the world. In the United States, it's particularly common in the southern states and the Pacific coast. It is an evergreen shrub that typically grows 6 to 12 feet tall. This one actually is a little bit taller than that. This is probably closer to 15 feet. But again, you can have outliers. Japanese Camellia is characterized by its alternating ovate to elliptical shaped glossy leathery leaves that measure about 3 inches in length with finely serrated leaves. Let's take a close-up look at one of these. So you can see it's got that gloss. And by using my knife as the backdrop here, I can see that it does have those fine serrations. That is the top side, and then that's the underside to give you a good long look at it. The plant is often recognized by its beautiful blooms of sizable flowers. They're often 3 to 5 inches across that bloom usually in the wintertime, often in shades of pink, white, or red, but you will occasionally see shades of yellow as well. The trunk often splits into a multi-trunked look like that, which you can see, and it has clumping stems. And the bark is often a grayish brown like that, although darker browns have been seen as well. The botanical name is Camellia japonica. It is a species of camellia, a flowering plant genus in the family of Thalassia. Thalassia. I'll spell that out for you. There's lots of different varieties in cultivation with many different colors and forms of flowers, so it can look a little different depending on your location and environmental adaptation. And it's worth noting that this is a bit of a misnamed plant, as it actually is native to China, not Japan. So when we talk about the purposes of this for bushcrafting and survival, the flowers can be fried and eaten. The flowers can be dried, powdered, and added to flour, and the leaves can be brewed with boiling water for a sweet floral tea. Now, I've done this on some of the videos on my channel, and I can tell you that for me, the taste is a bit of an acquired taste. It definitely has a floral taste to it, not my preference. I would take Japan holly if I was trying to do a natural tea, if I could find Japan holly in my area. But this one, it's not unpleasant, and it certainly has some medicinal value. The seed can be pressed into subaki oil, which is really good topically for hair and skin. Camellia japonica has several medicinal uses. The flowers are astringent, anti-hemorrhagic, hemostatics. You can make a salve or a tonic with them. They can be used to treat burns, and they can be combined with sesame oil to help treat a variety of skin infections. The plant is used for treatment of stomach illnesses, bleeding, and inflammation in traditional Japanese, Chinese, and Korean medicines. Camellia japonica is believed to have some anti-cancer, antioxidant, and antiviral properties. It's a good little plant to be aware of, and like I said, you can find this definitely in different parts of the United States, especially in the southern states and the Pacific coastal areas. And typically, because it's not native to the United States, you're going to find this more in suburban areas where it's been cultivated and somewhat naturalized. So you're probably going to find this more ornamental. If you're like a city forager or a suburb forager, definitely look for this one. I'm not saying you can't find it in the wild. It's just not going to be as common as, say, Japan holly is for us here in the South. And let's take a close-up look at that flower. Again, it might look different for you in your area because it does have some regional adaptations, and there's literally thousands of different varieties of this because of the way it's been cultivated and crossbred. And on this particular one, the canopy is about, I'd say that's about 3.5 feet off from the base. Let's take one last look at this one. This is Japanese Camellia. Good little plant for all of you bushcrafters and survivalists to be aware of. And it's pretty. Might want to add it to your property if you've got a little, if you own a little property. All right, folks, once again, this is Tom Sarge, aka Prepping with Sarge, here for LT Wright Knives. I hope you got something of value out of this. If you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to LT Wright Knives official YouTube channel for more content like this. Don't forget to drop a comment down below. Let me know what part of the world you're watching this from and what plants or mushrooms that you're currently foraging in your area. Keep planting your seeds, keep stacking your silver. This is Prepping with Sarge.
Well, I've been told my attitude could use changing, and my lifestyle could use